Today's horror manga dubbing narration is Mold by Junji Ito. I hope you all enjoy. Our story begins with a young gentleman pulling up in front of his house. A year from Japan. A year away from home. Coming back should have been a relief. Instead, I felt disgust. While I was gone, outsiders stayed here. Those outsiders were my high school teacher and his family. I still can't believe I actually leased my pristine new house to that lot. Don't hammer nails in the pillars, I told them back then. They should have moved away some time ago now. Where are the keys? Weird. And so, I called them up. Hello? Is this Makiko? Is Seiji there? May I speak to him? Hey, it's me. No, I'm calling from near the house now. The work ended sooner than expected, so I'm back a month early. Why are you so surprised? Huh? Yeah. The project starts next month, so I can rest for this month. By the way, I lost my keys. I can't get into the house. Sorry to trouble you, but can you deliver the spare keys to me now? Oh, and I don't see my dog in the house. Are you taking care of it for me? Huh? What? It escaped. What do you mean it escaped? Why did it run away? Did the tenant take care of it properly? I rented the house because he said he would take care of it for me. Or else, who'd rent to that guy?
I'm sorry, brother. I'll be there right now.
And then the phone hung up. I have a bad feeling about this. I definitely shouldn't have rented my house to that guy. Now I don't know what state my house is in. I'm lucky I'd already stowed away my important things at Seiji's, but still. Isn't this the tenant's key? Why did they recklessly leave it here? What if robbers broke in? Unbelievable. What a fine example for a teacher to set. What? The power's cut out too. Where are their manners? Ugh, it's so dark. What is this? What a mess. As our protagonist looked around the house, he noticed a ton of shattered objects, some of which even had mold growing on them. He covered his mouth in disgust. The mold was absolutely disgusting, and it seemed to be spreading from one thing to another. What is this? It's mold. He took off his jacket and continued to explore his estate. That was when he opened. Crap! He couldn't believe what he was seeing. What is this? Floating from the bottom, sticking on the top? Floating in the water like oil.
Where are you, brother? Hey, brother, it's been a year. You look a bit thinner.
Seiji, explain this. What kind of state is this?
I'm sorry, brother. I didn't expect you to come back this early, so I didn't clean it up.
That isn't even the worst of it. Look at the fridge. What the hell is this?
Is he trying to play a joke on me?
Yes, I bet he did this on purpose. That teacher held a grudge against me because I didn't want him to rent the house. I knew from the start he was nasty, but I didn't expect him to be this twisted.
Brother, No, it wasn't on purpose.
Well, have a look at the bathroom then. See this? What is this? If he isn't playing a fool with me?
Maybe rust?
What?
Anyway, it's my responsibility. I'll keep looking for the dog. It should be somewhere.
Seiji!
See ya.
Seriously, getting so worn out the second I'm back. I thought I could rest at ease. Then this shit happens. Damn, that mold stinks. Such an awful smell. Ugh. Later that night. Damn! It all stuck on the surface. Ugh, my head is aching. A soothing hot bath should help. And so, in an attempt to finally relax, he drew himself a bath and sat inside. This is a nice house. What a lovely house. To own a house like this when you're barely in your 20s. There's no doubt you're the son of the late vice principal. Must be very proud of you. Shimao Rogi contacted Seiji to inquire about the house rental. That was exactly 1 week before I went to Los Angeles. What? Seiji? What? Rogi? Mr. Rogi the teacher? What does he want?
Apparently his house burned down in a fire, so the moment he heard my brother's house will be empty for a while, he came to ask me a favor.
Are you kidding me? I finally managed to purchase this house and work sends me off to a job abroad. I'm frustrated. Enough already. And now, you want me to rent my house to that Rogi?
I know you hated Mr. Rogi, but he was our class teacher once. It's really awkward to reject him, and he said he'll take care of the dog for you. I'll bring them to your place next Sunday. Think it over.
Hey, don't just decide that for yourself. Ugh, seriously. Rogi. Mr. Rogi was our science teacher during high school. Students always called him Fungus. His passion was the study and the research of fungi. Every display cabinet in his science lab was crammed full of fungi-related items. Rumors said that he even grew his own fungus at home. One time, a lab specimen case got broken, and the culprit was unknown. He assumed that it was me who broke it, gave me a beating and despised me for a period of time. However, after learning my father was the school's vice principal, he instantly dropped his hostility to me. That's the kind of teacher he was. Seriously, once I start to think that he's going to stay in my house, I feel like beating him up.
Wow, what an elegant white house.
So beautiful. Here, sir. This way, please.
It's been 15 years since I last saw you. You've become a fine young man. You're looking more and more like your father. And what a fine house you keep. Other pupils have also achieved success, but you are the youngest of them. I am very proud of you.
But in that moment, his family looked over at him, especially the daughter, and then she winked at him, causing him to feel uneasy.
And even though it's not for long, it's like a dream to be able to live in a house like this.
Wait a minute. I haven't agreed to let you rent the house yet. Moreover, it's only a few days until I go overseas, so I haven't even thought about the rental. Please look for another house elsewhere.
Please, We've already searched everywhere, but to no avail. Right now we're staying with our relatives, but the space is too tight. Please, if we can't stay here, we'll have no other place to go anymore. I beg you, please.
And then his daughter began to wail too, saying how she liked the place and wanted to stay here. He looked over toward his brother, who said, "Brother, please, let me deal with the rest of this matter." "Seiji! Even if you said that..." "Hush, hush." But the baby continued to cry. "Aw, why's the baby crying? Is he feeling hungry?" "Aw, okay, it's okay." The mother tried to console the baby over and over again, but it continued to cry more and more, much to our protagonist's dissatisfaction. Such a strange family. Back in the present time. I feel sick. I can still smell the stench from the mold yesterday. He looked over and he saw that the mold was spreading to the walls. Am I oversensitive? The walls look kind of weird. It didn't look like this before. And then he realized it was true. The mold had spread to every wall in his house. The lights last night were too dim for me to notice. This is weird. The house has changed. He ever so slowly made his way to the second floor. The second floor looks more serious. Looks the worst here. Damn! The door won't open! The frame has warped. Why? What the hell? This entire house is so weird! He opened the wooden sliding door and put on some slippers. Then he headed outside to take a look at the exterior. And what he saw was there was even mold on the outside. He decided to call an expert to come and take a look.
Unbelievable. How can a thing like this happen?
Is it a problem with the material?
Of course not. The quality of the material is guaranteed. The only explanation is due to misuse.
What kind of situation would cause this to happen?
We won't be able to know before we examine it. Anyways, it must be fixed. Recently though, we are short of manpower. The soonest we can start is next month.
Back at his brother's apartment complex, the phone began to ring. Yes, this is Akasaka speaking. Looking for my brother? Yes, I'll call him right away. Your phone call, brother.
Okay.
After the call, he immediately got into a car and pulled up at the moldy house. The two of them began to discuss. Seiji, do you have any clues? A house less than 2 years old? Turned into this after renting to the Rogies? Exactly what kind of lifestyle does that family lead? And where the hell are they now? Why won't you answer my questions?
Brother, I have no idea too. They moved away without any notice.
That family made the house into a mess like this and ran away themselves? Okay, their own house must have finished building. We'll be able to find them there, right?
I have been there already. There isn't any new built house, and the ruins of the previously burnt house still stands. People in the area had literally no clue.
What? A few days later, the ceiling, beds, and furniture began to develop abnormalities. Mold seeping in everywhere and expanding. It's mold. The smell of the mold had previously disappeared, but now they're blooming out from the house again. It has to be the mold growing on the surfaces that's causing this bizarre warping of the house. But how can that be? Can mold become as serious as this? This kind of crazy unevenness. Still, all that stuff clinging to every surface, that's mold indeed. Perhaps this could be a new breed of fungus, he said, as he stuck his finger against the mold. It really was beginning to become a serious problem. Back at his brother's apartment, the phone rang once again. Coming! Hello? Akasaka speaking. Oh, brother? Yes, he's in. It's for you. Sweat dripped down his brow. Seiji, look. Every single day it gets more and more abnormal. Check it out. Every surface is completely caked with mold. The bathroom's in a bad state. Could be the humidity. And there's not a chance of using that anymore. And the second story too. Strangely, that's the worst affected part, even though it's not as humid. Do you remember that time in school? That teacher was always doing mold experiments. These must be his new fungus breeds. They've become parasitic, leeching on the house. Seiji, why are you shaking?
Brother, it's best if you move out of here quickly.
Why?
You can't stay here anymore. It feels horrible here.
Seiji, you know something, right?
I know nothing.
Say it! What exactly happened when I wasn't here?
Brother, I don't know. I don't know anything at all.
Seiji! Grabbed him by his shirt, pulling him toward him, then throwing him to the ground and saying, Say it! Speak clearly! Say it! Seiji looked into his eyes, and then he uttered,
Exactly the same as that guy's. Exactly the same.
What guy?
Your house has turned exactly like that other guy's.
What guy do you mean?
Baby, Mr. Roki's baby. I saw that baby. Remember, when that family first came to the house, they didn't let us see the baby's face. There's a reason. I saw it at that time when they'd just moved in. I went looking for them in the house for some reason. The parents weren't in. The baby already knew how to crawl. He was crawling around in the house. The places where the baby crawled. Wherever he moved, it dropped everywhere.
What dropped everywhere? What was it?
Fungus! It's fungus! Now that I think of it, that was fungus. The kid had mold all over his body. His face was the worst part. There was a strange unevenness. And not only that, the eldest daughter was infected too. She stand next to him in the shadows, and I couldn't believe what I saw. I think it might be like you said, brother. A new breed of fungus. It must be leeching on the baby's body. Brother, it's too dangerous to stay here. You understand now? Get away from here fast. Forget all the luggage and stuff.
I see. Can I stay at your place for a bit?
Yeah, sure. Bye.
After that, Seiji ran off in an uneasy stupor. Seiji is afraid of being infected by mold, because I may be carrying the spores of the fungus. From then onwards, the house continued to worsen disgustingly, but gradually, I even lost the strength to call Seiji in for a scolding. I don't know why. I lost the will to go out of the house too. The huge, mysterious tubes of the mutant mold are everywhere. Black powder puffs into the air with every step I take. Not long later, tubes that are hanging from the ceilings and walls. Black liquid starts trickling from the tips. Where do all these tubes come from? Our protagonist continued to journey through the house, which was now like a labyrinth. That room, that can't be opened. He stepped into the black goo as it splattered up toward him. There was no evading it now. It was splattering from everywhere and even hit him on the face. Damn, my face is itchy. He reached for a doorknob, but it's all rotten. And then he found himself in a room with those tubes everywhere, and that black, gooey liquid dripping everywhere. He was in the heart of it all. That was where he found a bunch of decrepit and rotten corpses. Tubes were coming out of everywhere, all out of their mouths and protruding from their foreheads and ears. Rogi. The mold had made Rogi and his family all... He had now figured out the horrible truth. The mold had infected his whole family, including Mr. Rogi's dear daughter. Damn. Anyway, it's itchy. As time went on, he too began to be infected by the mold. It started to completely engulf his whole skin. It's itchy, itchy, itchy. Oh, what a wretched fate. Thank you so much for watching. Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching. I'd like to take this time to give a very special thanks to my Patreons and YouTube members. Sarah De Jesus, Motosurf, Leo, Basin Animus, and Alleyway. Thank you so much for watching everyone, and remember, you're important and you matter. Have a good night everyone. Bye.